Queen La Carol, thank you for the gifts. Asma, thank you for the gifts. Hold on, she say, I was just in New Orleans and got a reading at the Authentic Voodoo place. Have you been there? No, I haven't. How was your experience? Yeah, I am a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm a survivor. I don't know all the lyrics to that song, but y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. I appreciate. Was that 100 squirrels? I appreciate that. You know, I always wanted a pet squirrel. Ocean said, "Girl, you inspire me all about my own land, and you reintroduced me to Miguel and his music." I'm joked out. Don't really like Miguel, but glad you like it. The whole vibe in New Orleans is just super different for me. It's dope though. Okay, we could talk about that, Queen. We could talk about that. Thank you, D, for the gift. I appreciate it. Asthma, come through. Thank you, D. Okay, so the energy in New Orleans, right? The energy in New Orleans is really different from a lot of places. This is why a lot of people would like to come here. This is why a lot of people would like to experience New Orleans, because it gives you a very spiritual experience. It's not a regular, oh, I'm gonna just go to I'm just go somewhere and experience that place. It really does changes you. Thank you, Asma. So the place here, the lands here, the grounds here, people do not know, but they were actual indigenous people of New Orleans, Louisiana. Was it New Orleans, Louisiana at that time that they existed? Fuck no. It was some other shit. Don't really know the name, but wait, what do you know what it was called?
Since like 1860, it was founded in like 1860. It's always been New Orleans because it was inhabited by French settlers.
Yeah.
So there is supposed to be a spot in I think Europe somewhere that's supposed to be New Orleans, right? What? And it's named New Orleans. So since they came here and founded New Orleans here, they've actually changed the name of that one, so it's now Old Orleans, and we're New Orleans.
Okay, so with that information being stated, because they took our history, they took all of our documentation on it, they never told us what the actual place of the name was before these French settlers and Spanish settlers. So they have us thinking that we were brought over on boats and shit like that, but the people who were originally here were raped, pillaged, killed, all of this extra shit.
Slaughtered.
They're brutally killed. Many people died, through this massacre or through this colonization period.
The people that didn't conform were literally killed.
Yeah, and specifically the reason why you feel that deep of a spirituality here is because the people on this part of the world were fighters. These people were warriors. These people did not give up. That's why so many of them died and were killed, because they all were fighting and they all were standing up for themselves. These people's spirits still linger here. You know what I'm saying? These people's lineage, their heritage, all of what they built, are still here. Even buildings that were here that the French came to and the Spaniards came to are still up today. The only thing that they do is refurbish the outside and really don't let people walk in the insides and stuff and keep them as museums. Because
say that? The house, you remember that house that Grandma had?
Yes, it had a courtyard. It was a slave quarter right in the center.
Standing.
Okay, so a lot of houses in the French quarters, if you don't know, when you come to New Orleans, this is why they guide you to the French quarters. If you haven't heard, on the Mississippi side of the river, where the cathedral is and the church is or whatever, there's a Jackson Square. It's called Jackson Square. Now, on the outskirts of the Jackson Square, within the French Quarter vicinity, there are Catholic church. There are two main Catholic churches that sit right in front of Jackson Square. There are U.S. money making
The U.S. Mint.
Yeah, the U.S. Mint Museum, which is the place where the slaves and everybody print money. Then you have the quarters where, I forgot what this building was called, but they literally sold slaves in there. They They sold
Port Orleans. You're talking about?
Yeah, Port Orleans. Yeah, they sold slaves in there. They traded goods in there. They even killed slaves in there. They killed slaves in Jackson Square when it was like, if slaves ran away or did anything outside of what they were supposed to be doing and was making a bad example for other slaves, they would take them to Jackson Square and kill them in front of everybody.
That was where they would make them an example.
They would make them an example in Jackson Square, and it's really a deep, interesting situation here in New Orleans. But also some of these buildings outside of that are actual slave owner houses where they actually house the slaves at the bottom part or the lower level of their homes, and they lived, up on the second and third floors. These were slave quarters for the slaves to rest
in the basements. And then
in the basements.
It always sucked because everything. Okay, so over the years, New Orleans has actually sunken deeper.
Yeah,
so it's even further underground, below sea level.
Mm-hmm.
But New Orleans has already said
below sea level. Exactly.
So a lot of the houses, if you pay attention, don't have basements.
Yeah.
Because of the flood issues and because of the fact that a lot of houses actually start to sink after the first 5 to 10 years of them sitting wherever they're sitting. So a lot of the houses in the French quarters, their basements are now closed off because of the flood issues. However, their slave quarters were always under the houses. So when it rained and shit, they had a lot of slaves that they really couldn't sleep because their slave quarters where they had to sleep at was flooding.
It was flooding, and yes. I bet it was hard to breathe because
down there. I walked through one. Mm-hmm. It was hard to breathe down there. You literally could smell mold. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine what the feces and everything smelled like because there's literally 2 buckets that sit in the corner. One was for urine, and then the other one was for your bowel movements. And I just was I really I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. I also went to, now New Orleans is not the only place where slavery was mass orchestrated. There's other areas in Louisiana where slavery was orchestrated, just like all the other states above Louisiana, going towards New York and all of that. So I went to Wallace, Louisiana, and I went to visit this slave plantation, and this is what I published my first 2 short narratives when I was in high school, which I published as a book with 8 other fellow high school members. I was given this experience to the Wise, Louisiana slave plantation, and they told me that I should write an experience about what the place made me feel like. And so on one occasion, there was this slave jail or this slave quarter, and I walked into it. It was like a slave box, it was like a jail cell, but as a box overground, whatever, not built in a building. It was all metal, and I had a very profound experience.
They call it a hot box.
A hot box, right? It was a very profound experience. I was able to seriously feel the people who were living there. I was able to see their environment. I was able to see how they were being treated. I was able to feel how they were feeling, and I wrote about it. And my in the book, it got published. My short narratives got published. It was a beautiful thing. But yeah, this is why when you come to New Orleans, you feel this energy. It's a very different experience because there were indigenous people here, and they don't tell us that, and they don't teach us about it, and they tell us that we all came from Africa, and that's the only place that they found us at, that this place was clear and all this extra shit. So yeah, on that note, I hope she was here for all of that. But thank you for the gift, y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brown Day. Yeah, stars for real, exactly. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, sweet. Thank you, stars. So for real, I appreciate that. Yeah, tweet. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Anyway, yeah, I'm just chilling. I don't really have much to do, to be honest. Taking a nap. I'm about to wake her up though, so she don't sleep past 7 or 8. And yeah, just chilling. Thank you, stars. I appreciate it. But yeah, if we're gonna be gone for the day, then I'ma just go. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about that much. I really was being pushed to speak because I'm a speaker. And so yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. I feel like I'm coming back to, you know, my true essence, and, you know, authentically expressing how I feel and how I think and what I know. And I appreciate that. But I'm gonna see y'all later, because I'm gonna go ahead and take care of my business, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Thank you for the gifts, everybody that contributed. 3. Wow. Everything that y'all contributed, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think y'all might have helped me get to 200,000 beans today. Oh yes, so the yin and yang say, I love to support young black women with their own business. How do I reach out to Kate?
Oh wow, Nola Frusion 504.
Nola Frusion 504. Here, on Instagram, Nola Frusion 504. Here, I'll put it in this one. Okay, so here is the Instagram right here. That's how you reach Sister Kate. She's Nola Frusion 504 on Instagram, honey. That is how you can find her. If anybody's looking for her, if anybody wants to support her, and she will be in other states, guys. So don't get too bummed out with thinking like, oh, she's only in located in New Orleans. She's gonna be in many other places. You just have to make sure you keep up with her. She's gonna be documenting her journey, documenting where she's headed, where she's traveling. Her, do you mind me sharing your next?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay,
I'll be in Miami next.
Yeah, her next location is Miami, which isn't probably in like the next 2 weeks. So I hope you guys.
Week, I'll be out there. I leave on the 7th to come out there.
So I hope you guys stay tuned for that and vlog with her for that. This is where you can find her, Nola Frusion 504 on Instagram. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm feeling really good. Hey, how are you? Is that face? How are you? Anyway, yeah. Do you have that? Do you have that before I get off? Do you have that link? That Instagram link? Ellie is doing good, Pretty Black. She's right here. She's taking a nap.
She needs to eat, girl. She needs to get up.
Yeah, she waking up.
I about to say, she like to be up all night.
Ellie, come here, baby.
My girl really been chilling up all night.
She don't want it. She don't want it. She like, no, mommy. She do not like waking up. She do not like getting woke up out her sleep. She don't like waking up.
My girl be so cranky. You wake up.
You want some food? You want some food? No, she is not having it. She is still asleep. She gonna be all up all night talking about some, mommy, I wanna eat. All night, like, Eliana, go to sleep. She said, yes, I don't even drink. She just articulated her business and herself so good. Very well. Yeah, so let me tell you, Kate is not, she's not only a liquor-based business, she does have a variety of things and non-alcoholic beverages as well. You just have to tune in and ask her more of what she sells and what she, you know, produces. Sing with you while you play your guitar. Sure, I will sing with you while you play your guitar, as long as you just not creepy, because if you're creepy, then I'm gonna block you. I'm just saying, I don't like creepy shit. Thank you, True Essence. I appreciate that. So Ellie, what kind of toys do Ellie like? Ellie like let me see what kind of toys she's starting to play. She's trying to play with. So Eliana loves books. Eliana loves the books, the fluffy books with the flaps on the inside, the fluffy one, the like big thick ones that almost feel like it got padding in it or something. She really likes those books. I have to find more of those books because she really tunes in. It gives her, it's like she's an active reader, right? So when she's reading those books with the flaps, it's really good. She likes the colors and pictures and stuff. Honestly, she does a lot of playing.
She has 6 colors that she actively identifies right now: green, pink, red, yellow, I think brown and white.
So why she giving me a hard time?
Because she know. Val, she's so smart. She play dumb. She know how to play dumb. She's gonna give you a hard time because she knows she can.
Eliana likes the little things where she matches the letters and the numbers. Like if it's a card and then you have the letter M, she likes to put it on there. You know, it's like that. She does a lot of playing on her tablet. I wanted to see like how many other things I could get on her, but she has a pretty good amount of games and stuff. I don't want to overload her with that.
Overload her, right? And everything is really good. Like everything that she has is learning.
Yeah, she like the toys. She don't really have toys. Like if she play with toys, it just be stuff I could put in the bathtub, like bath toy tubs,
stuff to preoccupy
bathtub right toys. Yeah, exactly. She likes balls. But she likes bikes too. She likes scooters. Eliana likes things like adult things, I guess. How did we meet, honey? Where did we meet at? Oh yeah, I remember you face. Okay. You're not creepy. Okay. I'm sorry. They got a lot of creepy people running up on me, honey. I just had to give that disclaimer before anything got out of hand. But I appreciate it. I know. I remember. Empress. Okay. Hey, Empress. Let me tell you guys. I have a major transition in my life. I was supposed to find out the gender. I'm supposed to find out the gender on the 6th. However, I'm going to announce the gender and I'm going to set up the baby. Well, I have the baby registry already set up. I just want to know the gender and tell you guys the gender so that you guys can start buying for the actual gender of the baby. I want you to buy gifts for the gender of the baby. I don't want to just do it like all that, not knowing the gender. I don't want to do that. And once I find out the gender, then I'm going to have the gender reveal, and then that is when the registry is going to be open for you guys to, you know, maybe purchase what you guys may like. Kayla said team boy for your name to be Kayla.
Yes, Case. Come through with the Case. Yeah. Come through with the boys, because I said a boy too.
I guess. I don't know. A lot of people think it's a boy. I'm gonna have the virtual baby reveal, gender reveal over Instagram and Bigo. But no, I'm gonna do it over on Bigo. I'm gonna do the virtual reveal only on Bigo. Because I don't want nobody watching me for free. Because people be doing all kind of stupid shit to me. And I'm not about to give nobody no more opportunity to try to hang me. So if you're not on my Bigo, then you're not going to be able to watch at all. And if you're being stupid, then you get blocked. Period. Yes, I'm from New Orleans. Yes, it will be better to know the gender. Thank you. I appreciate the gifts. Yeah, Bigo would be the best. And you should try to make it where it can't be recorded. Oh yeah, it can't be recorded. Yeah. I need to figure that out. I'm gonna talk to some people and get some strings pulled and everything like that. I might have a ton of admins in the building that day. So yeah, I can't wait either. If anybody fucks this day up for me, you are 100% authentically, wholeheartedly, absolutely getting blocked from my life forever. Period. People are getting blocked left and right who bring me anywhere vibes. Period. If I feel weirdness, I'm not engaging. Period. Like, no. Yes, Empress, you can help. Thank you for the gift. Somebody asked me my nationality, baby. I'm New Orleanian. Bet you never heard of that before. Bet you never heard of that before. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm not letting nobody steal my joy ever again. If you mad because I'm happy, bye. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I know I have more than 700 people watching me. I know somebody recorded me right now and gonna put my video somewhere and be like, oh yeah, look what Velvet's doing. Or or record a snippet of me saying some shit and like, look at her now. She thinks she's the Messiah. Like, shut the fuck. Go sit down. Go pray. Go restore, honey. Thank you, GB. Thank you for the gift, y'all. I'm literally halfway to my 5th star. That's amazing. Today we did absolutely amazing. This is off the record. This is off the record. Thank you. Thank you for the treasure, Miss Hart. I appreciate that. Exactly. Exacto. Thank you. Yes, go restore. Oh man. Face, you gonna have to go ahead and I can't really go into depth with you right now, but maybe one day. Thank you, Diva Girl. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marsha. You just sent me. That's a lot. Thank you. I just want you, Marsha. Miss Hart. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Aura Beauty. Exactly. When we having a domestic violence panel, we can have a domestic violence panel, but we gotta keep it. I have rules. I have rules to my panels because I don't like when people. Okay, so I'm gonna just let everybody know this off the rip, even if you think about coming in my panel, right? I don't like when people get irate. I like passion. I like when people get their point across. I like when people respectfully and positively express themselves in constructive ways. You know, I like understanding, but I don't like when people get erratic. I don't like hostility. I don't like too much of it. I'm not saying that I don't like it at all, but if it's stressful, then I don't like it, right? I do have keywords that I would like to refrain from using, like MB, CN, putting more of a focus or aim on a specific person. I like to keep things general because that keeps me safer, publicly, politically, legally. So I like to keep it on a general basis when talking about these specific topics because I know that you guys watch my entire life. You know what I'm saying? And you guys feel specific ways about specific things that I went through, but I would like to keep it on a more general base and targeting the spectrum of humanity that is going through this domestic violence, and turning a complete eye to it rather than an individual from an individual standpoint. But yeah, that is just some tips and some guidelines. But yeah, if anything else comes up, then I'm gonna actively express that. But yeah, we can do a domestic violence panel. I'm really in a space right now where a lot of things are up in the air. So tomorrow, we could shoot for tomorrow, but I really don't feel like being on here that much longer. But tomorrow, I'm gonna look at my schedule. I'm gonna see what comes to me because life is just kind of happening to me right now. So I'm gonna just see what it's like, and if so, then I can put that up to be the topic, and then we can talk about that. That'll probably be really good. Men are being abused more than ever in the recent years. I agree. Men and women and children. I agree. I agree. You off after 4 p.m. Okay. For sure. Okay. What time is it now where you are? I'm not sure. Thank you for the gift, guys. I'm literally almost to my 5th box. Let me see. I'm probably gonna need like 1,317. 1,317 beings left. Okay, I understand. I understand, Empress. I'm tired of sitting like this, y'all. I'm sorry. Men have been afraid to speak out on domestic abuse from women, and women have been afraid to speak out on domestic abuse from men. So there's an extremity on both ends of the spectrum, and everything needs to be talked about. Everything needs to be brought to the light. I literally, okay, so this is the thing, right? A lot of people see when you have these panels and you have like, for some reason our society always goes into this mode of like man versus woman, like oh men are going through this more, oh women going through this more. I never want my panel to become biased to one entity or the other, because I always wanted to stay in a logical mind frame and a bigger picture that both spectrums are going through the same extremity, just in different ways. And so I would only like to express the characteristics that may differ from what a man goes through versus what a woman goes through, and why on both ends it's important to apply solutions to get us up out of the domestic abuse. And so if I find or catch anybody in my panels arguing about gender and what other gender go through, I'm going to simply remove you off my panel, because I always want to stress and focus the fact that it is a collective thing that we're going through. Collectively, as humanity, we are going through things, and we need to shine a light on all of it. We need to talk about what the men go through. We need to talk about what the women go through. We need to talk about what the children go through. But what we don't need to do is argue about if a bunch of women are on a panel and we're happening, just so to speak, about a characteristic that feminine energy go through in our community, then the man gets in his feeling and feel like the attention is getting taken off of him and only being put on the woman. Like, let's be more mature and understand that there are many different facets and levels to what it is that we are all experiencing psychologically, emotionally, and all that in between. But the point is, and the bigger picture is that we're all going through it. The only thing we should be discussing at this point is what might be the difference, in what I may go through versus what you go through. But in reality, there always needs to be a discussion about a solution for both ends, and how the solution, needs to be applied to get the result that we want to see in life. But yes, yeah, P. But a lot of shit. You know what a lot of thing is? People would like to say, "Oh, men go through this. Oh, women go through this." What about our children? What about that part? Let's put men to the side. Let's put women to the side, and let's focus on the children right now. What about our children? There's a lot of shit that is not talked about that children go through. See, there are only as documentation and historic facts about women standing up for their rights, women standing up for themselves and doing whatever it is that they need to do, to have whatever type of power that they have right now in society. There's only documentation about men colonizing and doing this and doing that and doing this and all of this extra stuff. But what you don't have is the history of what the children have endured. What are the children's thoughts? What are the children going through? And we sit there and we give birth to children and we look at them as less than, because they might be younger than us. But when in actuality, especially in a day like right now, which is the age of Aquarius, our children are being born geniuses. Our children are being born smarter than us. So we have to start looking at our children as somewhat of an elderly figure or energy, because we're in the end cycles or the end times of reality. We have to denote and really look at the fact that our children might be more reincarnated than maybe our soul was, which means that it gives them more of a spiritual authority over us than maybe a physical one or a mundane one, only targeting worldly things. We have to have really deep discernment about children versus about adults.
They've actually done tests and ran tests and stuff and figured out that children use more of their brain than what adults do.
Exactly, and this is why from the ages 0 to 7 is very important, because this is when your child learns everything. Y'all think Eliana's smart? There's information that she's not computing with her eyes and her senses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then we're in the age of Aquarius, so it's not the same age that were once in when my parents were born, or that I was born, or whatever the case may be. But the issue and the point is that our children are suffering from the decisions that we make, from the things that we do in life, from the lifestyles that we implement and force upon them, the control that we force upon our children. This is what our children are experiencing. Our children are emotionally broken, psychologically impaired. This is why when a child go through stuff in their childhood and it is so detrimental to the point where it psychologically impairs someone, this is when you have people who are having chemical imbalances, people who literally become ill and sick, because of certain lifestyles and certain ways that somebody told them to grow up, and it hurt them, because maybe that's not how they wanted to live, and but they were forced, and they were forced to be quiet about what they felt. They were judged and criticized about what they felt. When someone can't express themselves emotionally, what do you think happens to them mentally? Their mind becomes engulfed in shame, in insecurity, like I can't do it. Their mind becomes doubt. You don't want to raise your children like that. That's how we're raising our children, though. That is how the children of this world is being brought up. Whether you think that you're a good parent or not, it's just as simple as looking at what's trending and what's not, and which is better to implement in our society to see the results that might lead us to a more righteous way of life. I can't sit here. Well, I'm not even gonna say that, because some people want to live in a fucked up world. Some people like drinking. Some people like smoking. Some people like going to jail. Some people like being beat. Some people like that shit. But I don't. I don't like that. And if whoever else don't like that along with me, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to those people who don't want to listen. I'm not talking to those people who tap on my live and they hear what I gotta say, but don't really like what I gotta say because I'm being a mirror to them, and then they click off my live. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to them. But yeah. It is what it is. I'm gonna let Tweet up, guys. Hey, Tweet.
How are you? Hey, Velvet.
Hey. How are
Hey.
you?
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for coming on today because I really needed to hear you. I was having such a bad day. My day has been horrible, girl, and I just really needed to hear somebody with some inspiration and somebody who, has some go and some spirit and some fight in them. Because today, all my go and all my spirit was taken from me. So I really needed to hear that today. But when you brought up the abusive thing, I was gonna say make sure you get that out because I would really like to hear that because I was one of those girls who, I was really young and I was a teenager, but I was still young and I was kind of groomed and I'm gonna just say the guy I dated was a monster. I can't even say bad guy. He was a monster, okay? And it's sad to say, I don't believe in karma. I hear people talk about karma all the time. I don't believe it. I don't believe that anything has happened or will happen to the terrible things he has done to me or any other woman in his world. And in my brain, I think he is somewhere living his best life while we sitting up here with PTSD
Struggling.
and struggling every day.
That is something that I am being evolved and guided into
Mm-hmm.
talking about, But I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and make it seem like I am 100% okay and I am 100% healed, because I have a lot of things to get off my chest. I have a
Mhm.
lot of things to unravel, and
Mhm.
it really, see, what I've learned on my journey, the thing that, like, when I feel like my spirit is getting taken away from me,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I find something that lights me back with that spirit, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to find that fire is if you're authentically living your life, because if you lose it, if you lose that spark, if you lose that light and you're not attached to who you are authentically and expressing that, you'll get
Uh-huh.
even more lost, and life will literally force you to let go of those things that's not adding that life back to you, and go more
Mhm.
towards the things that will put that light back in you, and you'll feel even more conflicted, which plays into, you might get, if you're resisting it, you might experience depression, you might experience anxiety, you might
Mhm.
experience doubt, you might experience paranoia, you know, and it's a lot of factors that play into that. But you're
Yeah.
gonna have to start really eradicating things that seriously do not resonate with you, and replacing that with things that do resonate with you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going through the most right now, because all the stuff, like, I could relate to your situation and what you've been through. The guy was a monster. In
Mhm.
order for me to actively and just wholeheartedly have a domestic violence panel, I
Yeah.
had to get over certain things that were set up in my heart, like certain things I never got able to express. I never got a chance to express certain
Uh-huh.
things. I never fully got to emotionally process, because some things happened to me. I was so disconnected that I forgot. And now when I'm reminded and I go back and remember certain things that happened through triggers, I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm like I'm I'm literally just like in awe,
Yeah, it's like
of.
you're stunned. I get that too. It's like you're stunned. That like it's sometimes I can think of some of the stuff you did, and it's like you're stunned that that actually happened. It's almost like you cannot believe that you let that happen, and that actually happened in that moment.
Yeah, it really is like a borderline identity crisis.
Yeah.
You go through some sort of identity crisis, and this is why people, was encouraging therapy and all of these different things, which, in my own personal opinion, I highly recommend therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I recommend that you find someone that you can sit there and express this to, because if
Mhm.
you never express it, you start to feel really lonely. You start to
Yeah.
feel really misunderstood, and like no one understands you, and then so you put yourself in this bubble that's ostracized and like shut away from society, and you don't want to live like that, because that's not life.
Yeah.
God wants you to experience. God wants you to explore. God wants you to be adventurous. God wants you to seek after the opportunities and the blessing that it has for you, with that connection, with your relationship with Him. But if you disconnect from that any kind of way and let, something else come in, this is what I'm learning personally. I'm learning this personally by trial and error. Things I went through, things I'm even realizing today, even in this moment, you know,
Mhm.
it's just, I've seriously learned that if it's not resonating with me and it's
Mhm.
taking my life away, that was
Uh-huh.
there before whatever came along to take it away, I need to get
Mhm.
that out of my life. I need to literally, no matter what it is, no matter who it is, no matter how much I love it, no matter, you know what I'm saying? It gotta go. It gotta go, because I'm
Yeah.
not even able to sustain my own personality. You're not supposed to live. You're supposed to be you. You are
Yeah.
supposed to be you at your most authentic, at your most optimal. If anybody is impeding that, or anything is impeding that in any kind of way, it is not for you. It is not healthy. It is
Yeah.
not healthy. And all your relationships you build, being in that space, all of the children you have being in that space, all of the ideas you create building in that space is gonna all get taken away from you. It'll never exist. You wanna know why? Because it's not congruent with God. It's not congruent with life. It's not congruent with who you authentically are. And this is
Mhm.
what I tell myself. This is what keep me going. You know,
Mhm.
I was.
I
I'm listening to it.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's a moment of clarity. That's a moment of clarity.
Thank God for clarity.
Thank God for clarity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not about to let nobody stop me from being me. I don't care how much you might think I'm brainwashed. I don't care how much it might look like I'm getting brainwashed, bitch. I'm never, ever, 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 even if I'm like at my lowest, ever let nobody take that. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever, 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 ever. Because I'm great.
Yeah.
And you should feel like that about yourself too. You walk into somebody's life, into somebody's life, you have value. You have something that that person does not have because
Yeah.
you're you. That person don't have you. You know,
Yeah.
and that is enough, and that is priceless. And if a motherfucker don't want to treat you according to go do it yourself because it's better you than somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Miss Velvet.
I appreciate you, Tweet. I appreciate you in all the most ways.
It, and Velvet, I do not mind. You're like in my mind, you are my best friend. In my brain, Velvet is my best friend.
We can be best friends.
All right, hon. I'll drop down and let you finish, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I lay nothing. What is it? What's that song, Kate? Bajane Aiko. I'm moving on. I'm putting on my free.
Oh, I haven't heard
I'm
that one.
moving
It's a
on.
lot of
I'm
music I haven't
putting
heard.
on my free. I'm moving on.
Would you
I'm
like to
putting
ETT?
on my free.
She will.
I'm moving. No, she not. The one you hated said I look naked. Hold on, let's play that song. Damn, I can't even play that song. Somebody come in the queue in a little box and play that song for me, please. Pretty please. Exactly, Phoenix Jones. Everyone deserves to be trauma free and happy. Exactly. Somebody want to come play that song for me or no? Y'all shy?
Recording in progress.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. She, not I. Okay, well, I'm about to go, y'all. I'm tired of sitting like this. It's getting uncomfortable now. So I'm gonna see y'all later. Until next time. Bye, y'all.